Hi everybody, I'm Inspector Cynthia Bautista from Merrimack, New Hampshire Fire Rescue, and I'm going to be reading you a story today called Stop, Drop, and Roll. It's by Margery Cuyler, illustrated by Arthur Howard. This is a book about fire safety, and it mentions Fire Prevention Week, but we don't only wait for 1 week of the year to practice fire safety, so we might as well get started learning about Stop, Drop, and Roll. Jessica was a worrier. She worried morning, noon, and night. This is Jessica. Are you a worrier? She worried about her spelling homework and learning new steps in ballet class and remembering to fill her dog's water dish and waking up on time for school. Those are things that a lot of us worry about, huh? But one Monday morning in October, Jessica's teacher gave her something new to worry about. It's Fire Prevention Week, explained Mr. Martin. So for the next few days, we're going to talk about fire safety. Uh-oh, groaned Jessica. And this Friday, Mr. Martin continued, we've been asked to share what we've learned with the entire school. Oh no, moaned Jessica. See that worried look on her face? Let's begin with smoke alarms, said Mr. Martin. Your home should have them on every floor. Automatic fire sprinklers are a good idea, too. Smoke alarms, sprinklers, Jessica had never seen either in her house. Your family should also have escape plans in case of a fire, said Mr. Martin. And fire drills so everyone knows what to do. Jessica chewed her pencil in half. Escape plans? Now she was really worried. Oh boy. Do you have smoke alarms in your house? That night, Jessica announced, there's a big problem in this house. We have no smoke alarms and no sprinkler system. We don't even have an escape plan. If there was a fire, we'd be in trouble. Her mother puckered her forehead. I remember buying smoke alarms, but I guess we never got around to installing them. And we talked about finding someone to put in sprinklers, added Dad, but we're always too busy to make an appointment. And what about extra batteries for the alarms, reminded Laura. Yeah, said Tom, we need to keep more batteries around here. See, they're talking about fire safety over dinner, and that's a really great time to talk about it because the whole family sometimes is together. Jessica twisted her napkin. She knew the real reason Tom wanted more batteries around. His birthday was in 3 days. He wanted batteries for his presents. But fire safety was more important than birthday toys, wasn't it? We've got to do something about this now, warned Jessica. You're right, said Mom. After dinner, we'll make escape plans and find those smoke alarms. And tomorrow, I'll get extra batteries and make arrangements for a sprinkler system, said Dad. But Jessica still felt too worried to sleep, and she tossed and turned all night. The next day, Mr. Martin wrote some fire safety rules on the blackboard. Never play with lighters and matches. Keep electric heaters at least 3 feet away from things that can burn. Keep extension cords away from doorways and from being pinched by furniture. A professional should check the chimneys and furnace in your home each year. Blah, blah, blah. Mr. Martin went on and on until Jessica had to cover her ears. She'd never be able to remember so many things. At dinner, Jessica asked, have we ever had our chimney checked? Yes, answered Dad, when we bought the house. But Mr. Martin said it should be checked every year, said Jessica. The furnace, too. Dad sighed. I'll put them on my list of things to do. But that didn't stop Jessica from worrying. She went through the entire house checking cords and smoke alarm batteries, and she had another sleepless night imagining all the things that could go wrong. It's nice that she's helping remind her family of the good things to do, and it's nice that Dad's listening and helping her test the smoke alarms, right? On Wednesday, Mr. Martin had even more fire safety rules. Heat makes smoke rise. So, if you're in a fire, you must crawl under the smoke where the air is cleaner. And when you reach the door, touch it. If it feels cool, it's safe to open. Jessica tugged at a barrette. What if the door felt warm? What should I do then? If the door's warm, continued Mr. Martin, don't open it. Find a window and call for help. Then wait for a firefighter to come and tell you what to do. Firefighters are our friends, aren't they? And there's one more very important thing you need to know, said Mr. Martin. If your clothes catch fire, stop what you're doing, drop to the ground, and roll over and over until you smother the flames. Catch fire? Jessica had never been so worried in all of her life. Stop, drop, and roll, repeated Mr. Martin. Let's say it 3 times. Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll, chanted the class. All except Jessica. Her worries had twisted her tongue into a big knot. Stop, drop, and roll. See, they're all saying it in class. When Jessica got home, she made her family have a fire drill. Then she rechecked all the electrical cords, tested the batteries and the smoke alarms, and made double sure that there were no matches lying around. After Jessica felt a little better, but she couldn't get Mr. Martin's words from class right. Stop, slop, and troll. Mop, pop, and bowl. The harder Jessica tried, the worse she did. But she went to sleep feeling a little better. At least she knew what to do if there was a fire during the night. See, this is the family practicing the fire drill. And then she's over here checking the electric cords, right? And she's practicing stop, drop, and roll while she's playing. She's practicing the words. Then on Thursday, disaster struck. Mr. Martin asked Jessica to demonstrate. Stop, drop, and roll at the assembly the next day. Why me? Thought Jessica. On the bus home, she tried to practice the words stop, flop, and roll. Flop, mop, and stroll. Stop, pop, and hole. But they kept coming out wrong. It's stop, drop, and roll, isn't it? Jessica was so worried about the assembly that she couldn't even enjoy Tom's birthday party. Stop, drop, and mole. Slop, drop, and hole. Plop, mop, and stroll, she muttered to herself. Because of all her muttering, she didn't even notice when Mom brought in the cake. It had 7 big candles on it. 6 were for Tom's 6th birthday, and 1 was for him to wish on. Look at those 7 candles. And just as Tom leaned over to blow them out, Jessica looked up and saw fire. "Stop, drop, and roll," she screamed. Immediately, Tom stopped blowing and dropped to the floor. But before he rolled, Jessica saw Tom wasn't on fire at all. Jessica's worries had gotten the best of her. She was so embarrassed. "False alarm," said Dad. "Phew," said Mom, "you gave me quite a scare." "I'm sorry," said Jessica, "but I thought—" "You thought quickly," interrupted Dad. "That's good, because it's better to be safe than sorry." "Besides," added Laura, "you finally said it right." Jessica finally said "stop, drop, and roll" correctly. And that was the truth. Jessica had said the words right. And now that she had, she was confident she'd never forget any of the fire safety rules she had learned that week. And you know what? She never did. Stop, drop, and roll. So if you have any questions or any comments that you'd like to add to the comment section, feel free to do that. But here are some things that I wonder if you could check out. They're Sparky's Top 10 Fire Safety Tips for Kids. 1. Every home must have working smoke alarms on each level and in or near the bedrooms. 2. A grown-up should test all smoke alarms at least once a month by pushing the test button. 3. Every family should practice a home fire drill at least twice a year. 4. Memorize your address and the emergency phone number of your fire department. 911 is for emergencies only. Number 5, matches, lighters, and cigarettes are dangerous. Don't play with them. 6, kids should only cook under careful supervision of an adult. 7, space heaters must have at least 3 feet or 1 meter, which is a yardstick, of clearance from anything that can burn. 8, candles do not belong in children's rooms, and only adults should light them. 9, if fire happens, get out and stay out. You can call 911 from a neighbor's home. 10, stop, drop, and roll if your clothing should catch on fire. I hope you enjoyed our story today. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out. You know how to reach me, Merrimack, New Hampshire Fire Rescue. My name is Inspector Cynthia Bautista. I'll see you next time. Have a safe week.